Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are zeroing in on a space that, well, it requires a lot of energy, patience, and some really remarkable skills.
Yeah.
The childcare classroom.
hmm
Keeping a room full of young children engaged, learning, and feeling secure. That's a massive undertaking. And we've actually been given a stack of practical guides specifically designed to help you, the professional, navigating this wonderful world.
Yeah, and these aren't just, academic theories. They are packed with really actionable strategies from experienced educators, stuff you can use tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our mission for this deep dive is basically to cut through the noise, pull out the most effective tools and techniques from these sources, and offer you insights that can maybe help make your classroom run a bit more smoothly, confidently, maybe even more joyfully.
Right.
We're looking for those nuggets of knowledge that make a real difference on the ground, helping you feel more like that classroom rock star.
Think of it like getting some expert shortcuts, maybe some smart moves, right from the source material itself.
Yeah, like what if there were simple, almost like pre-written scripts you could have ready for those common classroom challenges?
Oh.
Or what if small shifts in how your room is set up, or maybe how your day flows, could actually prevent big meltdowns before they even start? Let's dive in and unpack what these sources have to say.
Let's do it. And, right away, the sources place a huge emphasis on predictability. That seems to be the bedrock for managing young children successfully. Kids really thrive on knowing what comes next.
Okay, predictability. Let's unpack that core idea. The material points directly to rock-solid routines as like the first building block. What do these guides emphasize about routines?
Well, they highlight that it's not just about having activities planned, but it's about establishing and really rigorously sticking to a consistent daily flow. The pattern itself becomes a source of security for them. The guides offer those classic examples, starting the day with a welcome circle, then clear transitions to activity centers, having a set time for snack, predictable outdoor play, a closing story time. It's the rhythm of the day. That's what kids can internalize.
And they suggest a surprisingly simple tool for the children themselves, right, to help them understand this rhythm.
Absolutely. Posting a simple visual picture schedule somewhere the children can actually see the sequence of the day.
Right.
The sources point out that this visual cue, it dramatically cuts down on those anxiety-driven questions like, when is snack? Or, are we going outside yet?
Yeah. I can see it.
It gives them a sense of agency because they know what's coming, which, according to these experts, is a really powerful way to head off uncertainty and, well, potential meltdowns.
So a consistent visual routine is foundational.
Yeah.
Makes sense. What about classroom expectations, rules? How do the sources advise handling rules for this age group?
The advice is very specific here. Rules need to be few, clear, concise, and this is crucial, phrased positively.
Positive.
Yeah. These guides recommend limiting them to just, say, 3 to 5 core rules. Keep it simple.
Okay, 3 to 5. And positively. Like focusing on what to do instead of what not to do.
Exactly that. Instead of saying no running, the positive rule is walking feet.
Right.
Rather than don't throw toys, it becomes something like blocks stay on the floor, or maybe gentle hands with toys. It redirects the child's energy towards the action you want to see.
I love that shift in framing. It feels much more constructive.
Yeah.
And how do these resources suggest you teach these positive rules effectively? Just putting them on the wall isn't enough, I guess.
No, definitely not. They emphasize making it active and engaging. Teach the rules through role-playing, like show me gentle hands on the baby doll, or practicing the desired behavior together, maybe walking with walking feet to the door as a group.
Okay.
And integrate teaching, or just reviewing them into your morning routine. Reinforce them daily so it becomes second nature.
So strong routines and clear positive rules, they build that essential foundation of predictability. But the sources, they don't just stop at setting the stage, right? They seem really focused on being proactive to prevent issues from bubbling up in the first place. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. What proactive strategies jump out?
Yeah, what's fascinating here is the emphasis on engagement as like a primary management tool. The idea that providing consistently engaging hands-on activities is almost your first line of defense.
Right. The sources strongly recommend rotating activity centers frequently, maybe every 10 to 15 minutes, explicitly to match those typically short attention spans of preschoolers.
Exactly.
They suggest centers like sensory bins, process-oriented art stations, building blocks, a good book nook. The powerful insight here seems to be that when children are genuinely engrossed, in meaningful exploration and learning, you are freed up. You get to facilitate and guide your learning rather than constantly redirecting off-task or disruptive behavior. It's like management through engagement.
Absolutely. And tied directly to that is the physical space, what the sources call strategic classroom layout.
Ah, okay.
The guides suggest arranging your centers and furniture so you can easily see every child, basically, no matter where you are in the room. This immediate visibility lets you anticipate potential issues before they escalate.
Makes sense.
They also mention separating, calmer activities from the more active or potentially messy ones. Helps maintain a focused energy in different zones.
That makes so much practical sense. The environment itself becomes kind of a management partner. And the sources also specifically discuss proactive behavior management that goes beyond just setting up the room well. How's that different?
Well, this is more about observing the flow of your day and anticipating those potential moments of tension or fatigue before they become problems.
Okay.
The guides use relatable examples, like knowing that maybe 4:15 p.m. often brings on those tired
Oh,
meltdowns.
yeah, the witching hour.
Exactly. So instead of just waiting for that crash, you might preemptively introduce a calming activity, maybe a quick group stretch or a little brain break around 4:00 p.m. It's about reading the room
Kind of.
and redirecting energy constructively before it explodes. If you see a child starting to fidget anxiously, you proactively offer a pathway. Hey, I see you have lots of energy. Let's hop like bunnies over to the rug. Redirect before it becomes an issue.
That kind of observation and preemptive action feels incredibly powerful for keeping things calm. And this proactive approach, it seems to lead us perfectly into a specific technique one source highlights, almost like a secret superpower: behavior scripting. What exactly is this?
Okay, so the core idea is having a pre-planned, calm, and positively phrased response ready for those common moments. The ones that often trigger frustration or make you improvise on the spot.
Uh,
Instead of scrambling for words or maybe resorting to a stressed reaction when a child does something challenging, you have a short, clear teacher line, already decided upon, and importantly, practiced.
so it's like intentionally choosing your words beforehand rather than just reacting in the heat of the moment.
Exactly. It's the difference between, say, a potentially frazzled improvised response like, hey, stop that, Billy, leave him alone, which can escalate things.
Right.
And a calm practice line you've prepared, something like, Billy, thank you for using walking feet inside. Let's keep our feet on the floor so everyone stays safe. See the difference?
Yeah, much calmer, much clearer. But why is it worth the effort? I mean, to script these simple responses, what's the payoff, according to the sources?
Oh, the payoff is significant. The sources list several key benefits. First, it really helps you maintain a steady, consistent tone, regardless of the behavior, which children find incredibly reassuring.
Okay.
Second, it drastically reduces power struggles because you're not engaging in that emotional, threatening language. You stay warm, but firm and clear. Third, it actually boosts your confidence. You feel prepared, in control, less reactive.
I can see that.
And fourth, and this is big, it creates consistency among staff. If everyone uses the same script for the same behavior, the kids get a clear, unified message. No, but Miss J lets me.
Oh, that consistency is huge for young children.
Mm.
Definitely. Okay, so if we want to build this superpower, how do the sources say we actually create and use these scripts? Is there like a step-by-step?
They do. It's a pretty practical 5-step process outlined in one of the guides. Step 1, identify your hotspots.
Hotspots.
Yeah, what are the 3 to 5 behaviors that most frequently derail your smooth classroom operation? Things like running, yelling, throwing, refusing to share, maybe hitting. Name them specifically for your room.
Got it. Pinpoint the recurring issues. Step 2.
Step 2, draft your script lines for each of those hotspots. And the rules here are strict for a reason. Keep them short, like 5-7 words max. Keep them positive focus on the desired behavior. And keep them specific. Address the child by name and name the behavior.
Okay, short, positive, specific. Can you give us some real-world examples from the sources for those common hotspots, like running or yelling?
Sure. So, for running indoors, Grace, walking feet, please. Simple. For yelling across the room, Ethan, use your quiet voice. For throwing toys, Lily, block, stay on the floor, thank you. For refusing to share something, Omar, it's Maya's turn for the truck now.
Okay.
Notice how they are brief, direct, and they tell the child what to do or what's happening next in really simple terms.
Very clear. And step 3, practice.
Step 3 is practice and role play. Yes. The sources highly recommend practicing these lines, maybe with coworkers, or even just practicing silently to yourself. Have someone call out a scenario. Someone just ran across the room, and you practice delivering your script calmly.
Right.
They also suggest adding maybe a subtle teacher gesture like a gentle hand signal or a specific facial expression to pair with the script, a nonverbal cue.
Practice makes it automatic, I guess. What about introducing it to the kids themselves?
That's step 4. Teach the kids, frame it positively like it's a classroom code or our special words, model the script for them calmly, show them the behavior you want. You could even invite them to say the script with you during circle time so they get familiar with the language.
Okay.
And then the crucial step 5, consistent reinforcement. Use your script every single time the hotspot behavior occurs, no exceptions. Pair it with eye contact, a calm presence, maybe a gentle touch on the arm, and immediately follow compliance with specific, positive praise. Thank you for using walking feet, Grace. That keeps everyone safe.
That consistency really does seem key to building the habit. And there was a real-life snack clash example in one of the sources that really illustrated how this works in practice, didn't it?
Yes, the classic snack time negotiation. So imagine Mateo is hoarding the goldfish crackers, right? And a friend is trying to grab the bag, starting a little tug of war.
Yep, seen that movie.
So your script trigger is seeing that physical struggle over the snack. Your practice script is ready. Mateo, snack time is for everyone. Let's share those goldfish.
Paired with a calm voice and maybe a gentle touch.
Exactly. Calm tone, maybe a gentle hand on his arm, making eye contact. And then when he releases the bag or offers some, the crucial follow-up. Great job, Mateo. Thank you for sharing with your friends.
Right.
The source notes how this clear, positive structure allows the conflict to resolve quickly. And it frames Mateo's action as a positive choice, turning what could have been a power struggle into a moment of cooperative success. He's the sharing hero.
And the sources even touched on the science behind why this scripting works, which I found fascinating.
Yeah, it really boils down to predictability and basically wiring the brain for success. Consistent scripts provide predictable cues. Kids quickly learn that this language means this expectation in this situation.
Reduces the guesswork.
Exactly. It reduces ambiguity. Is my teacher mad? What should I do? Which lowers their anxiety. And over time, the consistent pairing of the script with the desired pro-social behavior actually helps reinforce those neural pathways in their young brains. It makes the positive response more automatic, less effortful for the child down the line.
Wow. So it's not just managing behavior in the moment. It's actively helping their brains develop self-regulation skills. That's powerful.
It really is.
So behavior scripting is a potent tool for those specific moments. But the sources also emphasize a broader kind of ecosystem of support in the classroom, right? Which raises an important question. How do we reinforce positive behaviors consistently beyond just using a script right in that moment?
Precisely. Scripting handles the trigger moment, but it's the ongoing reinforcement that builds the long-term pattern. The sources strongly advocate for positive reinforcement and celebration.
Which means actively looking for kids doing well, not just reacting to problems.
Yes, it's about intentionally catching children being good, really shifting your focus sometimes from problem spotting to success spotting. A specific, genuine compliment like, Mason, I noticed you helped Sarah clean up the blocks without being asked. That was a very kind helping hand. That's far more impactful than just generic praise or only focusing on stopping unwanted actions. These guides suggest using simple, immediate forms of celebration, maybe a sticker, a high five, adding a pom-pom to a class jar, or briefly highlighting a child's positive contribution during group time. Keep it positive and specific.
So using your script for a specific behavior trigger and then following up right away with positive reinforcement when they comply, that seems like a really effective 1-2 punch for building those desired actions.
It's incredibly effective when used together. And if we connect this to the bigger picture of managing a busy classroom, the sources also recognize that not every interaction can be one-on-one or even whole group. They suggest leveraging small group and peer helpers.
Breaking down into smaller groups during center time or for specific activity.
Exactly. Working with smaller groups, maybe 4 to 5 children, allows for much more individualized attention, more tailored guidance, and you can catch small issues before they grow.
Makes sense.
And additionally, giving children classroom jobs, being the line leader, the snack helper, the door holder, maybe the librarian who straightens books, it channels their natural desire to contribute.
Right.
It provides positive avenues for energy that might otherwise manifest as disruptive behavior. It gives them a sense of purpose and responsibility within the group.
That makes a lot of sense, turning that energy into helpfulness instead of disruption. Another vital piece of the puzzle the sources consistently return to is building strong family partnerships.
Oh, this is crucial for consistency. Sharing your daily routine charts with families, maybe suggesting simple activities they can do at home that reinforce classroom learning, or expectations like practicing walking feet to the kitchen. It helps create a unified approach between home and school.
That bridge.
Yeah, exactly. The sources also emphasize the power of positive communication. A quick note home or just a brief chat at pickup about a specific positive thing their child did that day. Guess what? Noah was our amazing line leader today. It builds trust, it celebrates the child, and it makes parents feel like genuine allies in supporting their child's positive development.
It sounds like creating that strong bridge between home and school is really a major factor in classroom success. Finally, the sources also gently but firmly remind the professional about, well, themselves. Managing all this energy and these strategies takes personal capacity. How do these guides suggest keeping your own tank full?
Yeah, the clear message is reflect, adapt, and recharge. These professionals advise carving out even just 5 minutes, maybe at the end of your day, to quickly review what went well, what was challenging, and maybe why.
Mm.
Think about which strategies clicked and which didn't quite land. They also encourage seeking support, maybe through peer observations, sharing ideas with colleagues, or engaging in just finding fresh ideas and perspectives.
Because keeping your creative and emotional well-being high, that directly translates to more patience, more spontaneous fun, and ultimately a less stressful environment for everyone in the room.
Absolutely. Your energy and presence really do set the tone, and the sources are clear that self-care and reflection aren't luxuries. They're essential parts of effective practice.
So what does this all mean when you put it together? We've seen how fundamental predictability is, built through those consistent routines and teaching clear, positive rules.
Right.
We explored being proactive, designing engaging activities, setting up your physical space thoughtfully, and anticipating those tricky moments before they happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we discovered what feels like a real superpower in behavior scripting, identifying those high-frequency behaviors, drafting those short, positive, specific lines, practicing them until they're second nature, teaching them to the children, and using them consistently, always paired with specific positive reinforcement.
Yeah, and we also widened the lens to see the value of breaking into small groups for more focused attention, channeling children's energy positively through peer helper roles, building those essential partnerships with families for consistency beyond your walls,
All right.
and crucially, the necessity of taking deliberate time to reflect on your practice, adapt your strategies, and recharge yourself. These weren't just, a random list of tips. These sources frame these strategies not just as ways to manage behavior, but really as the foundation for creating a nurturing, predictable, and engaging environment. A place where children feel safe, confident, and free to learn and explore.
And where you feel empowered and effective.
Exactly. Truly that classroom rock star.
One source uses a wonderful phrase, calling the teacher the director of the greatest little people show on earth. So consider this provocative thought for your own practice. If your classroom is indeed a dynamic performance, how can intentionally scripting your key responses alongside creating a strong, well-organized stage, which is your classroom layout, and providing clear, consistent cues like your routines, transitions, and positive reinforcement, how can that transform those everyday moments that might feel chaotic into smoother, more successful, and ultimately more joyful scenes for both you and your incredible cast? What specific script might you write or practice for tomorrow?